bandsaw is used to make curved cuts. It's called a bandsaw because it turns on these two big wheels, one high and one low, and it's one continuous band of blade. So a couple things to look for on a bandsaw is, one, how the teeth are pointing. The teeth should always point downwards so they're digging into the material. Another thing we're going to look for is the height of the blade guide. Right now, the blade guide is very high above the board, a few inches. We want it 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch above the material so we don't have too much exposed blade. To adjust that, we're going to take this red lever here, we're going to pull it down. I'm going to hold it down and just pull the guide just above the board, that 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. So now there's very little clearance here. If you're using the small bandsaw and you need to adjust the blade guide, what you're going to do is unlock the blade guide here. Then on the back side there's a little wheel. All you got to do is turn the wheel to move the blade guide up and down. Once it's where you need it, lock it back in place. Then we're going to look at the tension knob. Right here, if I look inside of here, it's got measurements that say the thickness of the blade. I have a 3/8 inch blade on here right now, so the tension knob should be set to 3/8 of an inch. Once all of those are set, now we can start worrying about our cut. If I've got a very gradual curve like this one, I don't need to make anything called a relief cut. A relief cut is just that. It provides relief to the blade. So when I'm doing a very sharp curve like this, what I want to do is kind of make a couple cuts before I make my curve cut. These little lines here represent my relief cuts. Those are the first cuts that I'm going to make. So I'm going to turn on the saw, and I'm going to cut these relief cuts up to my arc here, and I'm going to back out. These are relatively short cuts, so it's okay to back out of them. When I have a longer cut, maybe a couple of inches long, in that case what I need to do is shut off the machine, wait for the blade to stop, and then back out of the cut. Because what can happen is the blade can pinch on the saw kerf, and if you're trying to pull it out while the blade is still turning, it can pull it off of these wheels. So we want to avoid that. We'll just wait for the blade to stop and then wiggle it out. Now I'm going to hold the board tight against the table while I'm doing this. I'm never picking it up off the table. Okay, so it's always tight to the table. I need to maintain a safety clearance of 4 inches. And that's a little tougher to do with a bandsaw because your hands are always moving when you're doing these curved cuts. It's harder to predict where the blade is going to be at a certain point. So just kind of be conscious of where your hands are placed. Always keep them 4 inches away. If they get closer, you can always use a push stick or something to help push the board through the cut. So let's go ahead and make these relief cuts. Again, my hands are 4 inches away. I'm just going to make these straight little cuts up to the arc and back out. Now when I go to make my arc, every time I hit one of these relief cuts, that piece of material is going to pop off and provide relief for the blade to straighten out again. When I'm done, I'll shut the machine off and wait for the blade to stop. Notice that I didn't cut directly on the line. I always want to leave a little bit of material there that I can just sand it down on my disc sander. If you have an inside curve, you can use your spindle sander. But never cut straight to the line. You always want to sand to the line. I've got some scrap next to the blade, so I never want to remove the scrap with my hands. I can just take the material I was using, kick it out of my safety clearance before I pick it up and toss it out. And clean up after yourself. Now in the case that the blade breaks, if it exits the machine, it's most likely to exit off to the right side. So we always say, if you're watching someone make a cut, if you're making a cut, don't stand to the right of the bandsaw here while it's being used. Now if the blade does break while you're using it, all you need to do is shut off the machine, wait for it to stop, come get me and we'll replace the blade. It's real simple. It happens. It's not a big deal. Blades just get worn out and they snap once in a while. It might scare you, but that's fine. We can just replace it. let me just demonstrate what you need to do in case you do have to back out of a long cut. I'm going to cut this line right here, but I'm going to stop maybe halfway through the cut. Then I'm going to shut off the machine. Right now, I want to back out of my cut. So I'm just going to shut it off, hold the board tight, and wait for the blade to stop. Now the blade is stopped, so I can back it out of the cut. I don't have to worry about it falling off the wheels. Okay, so bandsaw is used to make our curved cuts.